Kali ini aku mau coba-coba latihan buat speaking aku besok waktu seminar proposal. Jadi ini aku mau ngungkapin gimana openingnya, isinya, sampai dengan closingnya. Sebelumnya aku minta maaf karena video ini adalah video re-upload dari video aku yang sebelumnya, yang mana video aku udah banyak view-nya, tapi ada beberapa yang komplain bahwa suara aku kurang jelas karena agak berisik. Nah, better aku ngedubbing lagi dong biar suaranya jelas. Kalian gak usah ngehirauin gimana video aku itu kok bisa nggak sama suaranya karena ini ngedubbing ulang. Jadi cukup dengerin aja presentasi aku. Oke, check it out. Jadi kurang lebih openingnya itu kayak gini. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. The Honorable Examiners of this thesis proposal examination, Bu Rukminingsih MPD, Bu Yunita Puspitasari MPD, and Bu Rosi Anjarti MPD. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Shiliato Sariro, and I'm from English Department. In this beautiful morning, I would like to thanks to the opportunity that has given to me to present my thesis proposal by the title The Correlation Between Learning Habit and Students' English Reading Achievement at the 8th grade of Junior Islamic Boarding School, Pulau Jombang. For chapter 1, I'm going to take the explanation about introduction. It is about the background of the research, and it is include the explanation about definition of reading, reading comprehension, reading habit, and limitation by traditional culture, and some previous studies. From definition of reading, it is about understand the meaning. And from the reading comprehension, it is increasing students' reading achievement. And for reading habit, it is the crucial thing to get better reading achievement. And it is limited by traditional culture like watching TV, talking with friends, going to the shopping mall, playing games, and etc. And it's taken by some previous studies, such as Wulandari 2016 and Muawana 2014. Untuk bagian part ini, kalian bisa menjelaskan rincian-rincian dari definisinya, itu kalian ambil dari pakar-pakar siapa aja, dan untuk some previous studies, kalian harus jelasin satu persatu. And then B, the scope and the limitation. The scope of this research is conducted by the students at the 8th grade of Junior Islamic Boarding School, Pulau Jombang, by the retrieval of the data that held the questionnaire via Google form that consists of 6 indicators: all reading frequency, reading books, time spent on academic reading, time spent on non-academic reading, family motivation, and motivation in academic environment. And the limitation of this research refers to the weakness of the student that their school have a tradition of spending more time on religious studies than a general subject such as English. And then for the statement of the problem, is there any correlation between students' reading habit and reading achievement? And then for the objective of the research aims to determine the correlation between the students' reading habits and their reading achievement. And for the significance of the research, theoretically, the researcher hopes that the result of the study will contribute to the development of education, especially in the language, and practically is for English teacher and for the researcher who may apply the same research on the correlation between students' reading habit and reading achievement. Bentar, ini waktunya ganti background lagu, oke? And for the definition of key term, reading habit according to Sewers 2014, more explicitly, reading habit describes the addictive and unconscious process involved in the contraction of the meaning from the word. Then reading habit refers to the automatic process as the reader reads the text information and unconsciously interpret the meaning. Therefore, the researcher interprets that the reading habit is the activity of the reading continuously and unconsciously without comment. And for reading achievement, according to the Basit and Mato 2012, reading and academic achievement are essentials to the experience of academic staff and educationalists. Every child, whether through rewarded, average, and regular or backward, and etc., they should be educated in his education session. And now we're going to the chapter 2, the review of related literature. It is about the theoretical base of variable. I will explain about the definition of reading, definition of reading habits, the importance of reading habit, and the factor influencing reading habit. It is about the internal, the motivation and reading at the interest, and the external, both home environment and school management. And the fifth is about the indicator of reading habit. Julius Caesar 2011 summarized 6 components. I'm sorry. Jadi kalau kalian ada kesalahan ngegeser slide, jadi kalian seenggaknya bilang I'm sorry kayak gitu, seperti kayak kejadian kayak gini nih. And for external, there are home environment and school environment. Nah, di part ini tuh kalian ngejelasin gimana definisi dari variabel kalian. Terus dari faktor-faktor yang akan kalian bahas itu dijelasin semua di chapter 2 ini. And the fifth is about the indicator of reading habit. Julius Caesar 2011 summarized 6 components of reading habit in achieving a successful reading habit. First is reading frequency, next is reading books, time spent on academic reading, time spent on non-academic reading, family motivation and motivation in academic environment. And for the advantages of reading habit, Rwanda 2016 claims there are more than enough advantages students can receive. There are helps the mind actively function, build a strong vocabulary, intellectual curiosity boosts. The habit of reading implies psychological activity and helps the readers to have a positive attitude. And the seventh, the explanation is about reading achievement. Now we're going to the previous studies. First is from Wulandari 2016, conducted the correlation between students' reading habit in English and students' reading comprehension ability in the first grade of SMP PGRI 1 Gunung Pelindung East Lampung. And the second is from Awana 2014, conducted the research the relationship between the students' reading habit and their reading comprehension, a correlational study at the second grade of SMA 2 Mei Ciputat. And the third is from Halisa 2018, conducted a study the correlation between students' reading habit and their writing ability. The research was conducted the second year students at SMA N4, Kota Banda Aceh. And the fourth is from Husna 2014, was conducted entitled The Correlation Among Readability Level of the Text, Reading Habit and Reading Achievement of 8th grade students of MTS Al-Quran Hassalakum Bengkulu. However, the research focused only on the student reading habit and students' reading achievement in Islamic boarding school. Most of the previous studies sometimes just focus on the frequency and the amount of time in reading habit. Jadi kalian di sini jelasin gimana gap kalian antara previous study sama skripsi kalian yang sekarang ini. The next is going to present about interwoven among variables. Good reading habit of students, it is related each other with the contribution to their comprehension of the reading. And for the theoretical framework, the students' reading habit and students' reading achievement is 2 variables that will be computed at the correlational computation in SPSS program. And for hypothesis, there are 2 hypotheses. First is the alternative hypothesis. There is a correlation between student reading habit and student reading achievement. And the null hypothesis, there is no correlation between student reading habit and student reading achievement. And the next is we're going to the chapter 3, the research method. For the research design, I use quantitative research, non-experimental design, and correlational study. And for variable of the research, the independent of the variable is reading habit and students' English achievement. Jadi guys, dalam bab 3 ini itu adalah nyawanya skripsi, yang mana bab 3 ini tuh nunjukin kalian arahnya ke kuanti, apa ke kuali gitu, apa nunjukin research kalian tentang korelasi atau tentang metode yang lainnya. Terus tentang variabelnya itu juga yang diukur itu apa, itu dijelasin di bab 3 ini. Going to the population and sample, the population of this study is the student of the 8th grade of Junior Islamic Boarding School Plaza Jombang. There are 3 classes that consist of 124 total of the students. For the sample, the research took purposive sampling as the sample technique. The researchers took a sample of the student of 7A only to represent the whole of the 8th grade population. The sampling technique used to minimize the time because of the current condition and to make easy the questionnaire spreading. Besides that, the teacher's advice had also been selected. Now we are going to the data collection procedure. The first, the researcher prepared the research instrument, include the validity and the reliability, and the researcher set a schedule for deciding a questionnaire about students' reading habit. And then the researcher gave questionnaire via Google Form, which sent into student broadcast in WhatsApp to 42 students. And the researcher requests the data of the student score in reading achievement to the teacher, and the researcher will analyze the questionnaire and the data score using SPSS statistics. And the researcher gives the conclusion of the result of correlation computation. And for research instruments, the questionnaire there are 30 item evaluation and check questionnaire for checking the reading habit. The researcher used a closed questionnaire, and the questionnaire used 5 possibilities. The indicator of the questionnaire are taken from the reading habit components of Julius Caesar theories. It is about reading frequency, reading books, time spent on academic reading, time spent on non-academic reading, family motivation, and motivation in academic environment. The questionnaire validity checker is using content validity, while the reliability checker is using SPSS. And for documentation, the researcher used the student score from the teacher private document to conduct the reading achievement of participation. And the last session is about the data analysis. After collecting the data, the researcher will analyze the data using SPSS. Data were analyzed by using person-product moment correlation, and it was used to identify the correlation between students' reading habit and their achievement. The data were arranged by combining students' reading habit and reading achievement score. The honorable examiners, I have been presented all the chapter 1 until chapter 3. That's all about my presentation. Thanks for your attention, and I'm ready to answer the question. I hope I can answer the question well. Thank you. Jadi seperti itu guys, kurang lebih tadi udah ngejelasin bab 1 sampai bab 3. Kemudian closingnya seperti the honorable examiners, I have been presented all the chapter 1 until chapter 3 bla 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 sampai thanks for your attention, kayak gitu guys. Jadi setelah kalian presentasi dari bab 1 sampai bab 3, habis itu kalian harus siap ngejawab pertanyaan dari dosen penguji, dan usahain kalian tuh harus relax dan gak usah grogi, gak usah nervous, karena semua yang ditanyain sama dosen itu jawabannya, kuncinya ada di skripsi kalian sendiri, ada di proposal kalian sendiri gitu. Dan satu lagi, usahain kalian benar-benar nguasain apa yang kalian teliti, reasonnya apa, alasannya apa kalian neliti itu, apa sih yang bikin kalian tertarik buat neliti judul itu. Oke guys, thanks for watching, semoga bermanfaat and goodbye.